Hi, my name is Bruceann Owen. I was originally born and raised in Mandeville, Jamaica. I moved to the US at 12 years old. I did a project in high school and I had to interview somebody in my family or somebody outside of my family, and I came up with these interesting questions. And my mom she asked me, she was like, "So who came up with these questions?" And I was like, "Me." And she said, "Oh my goodness, that's exactly where you need to be. You need to be a journalist." And from then, I took the reins and ran with it. My favorite color is yellow, and I'm bubbly, and I love it. So that's it. Thank you. Research has shown that when studying outside, where you can see, hear, and smell the natural world around you, can actually boost the endorphins or feel good chemicals in your brain, putting you in an overall better mood. According to state reports, Murfreesboro is the second largest city in the state. Rutherford County is expected to reach over 300,000 residents by 2020. The Hammock Room, one of the most favorite places for the guests of Float Alchemy, is a place where they can enjoy life, relax, and just get away from the hustle and bustle from the everyday world. Some even come in here to read or paint and just to enjoy the quietness of the room. They were brought back in August with the new safety requirements, but just how much have things changed? The Kermit Davis era is over. We'll have highlights from the loss of the Louisville MTSU game coming up. Cold showers and temperatures of 40 degrees couldn't stop Shelbyville Loves from rallying for the lives of nearly 2 million dreamers. They held signs that expressed their love and urgency for a quick and fair solution.
I want to see their human rights respected, because whenever anybody's rights are violated, all of us are threatened by totalitarian government.
When former President Obama created the DACA program as a path of legal residency for children of illegal immigrants, over 400,000 recipients received an approval in 2013. By 2017, the Trump administration took flight, and less than half the recipients became ineligible to renew.
Has to be reformed from time to time, and it's long overdue.
Meet Brenda Perez, a 17-year Tennessee resident and DACA recipient who says it's already fearful to put her family on the line.
I'm 34 years old. I have gray hairs, and so for one, folks who are affected by DECA are not just like young high school students, right? Like, we have been people that have been living and working here and have built communities here. So for one, I would like to change that narrative, because some of us have made mistakes, some of us have criminal records, and it doesn't mean that we shouldn't qualify to still be together with our families, right?
Because the bipartisan bill was rejected along with 4 other proposals to reform DACA, many continue to hope for a better solution. With News 3, I am Bruceann Owen. Meet Honesty Banks, an MTSU biology student who began her own business doing nails.
My services were way too expensive for me. And I was like, okay, Honesty, you got all the stuff at home and you know how to do it. Like, go ahead and set up shop. So that's exactly what I did.
Starting at the age of 16, she then learned the craft and brought it to the dorm, where she then expanded into her apartment at Campus Crossings. She comes from a long line of...
I don't want to say entrepreneurs. I'd rather say hustlers. We hustle. We go-getters. So
running a small business from her room, she has built a brand called Honestly Evolving Nails. MTSU student Ashanti Jones is in support of her fellow peers and wants to see more rise.
I think it's really interesting to work with people our own age. They sort of know what we're looking for, our budgets, and it takes a lot of guts and determination to build yourself up from nothing.
Eric Banks is also one student that has his own barber business who thinks
it's good for us young people. We are leaders, for the next generation.
Surveys actually suggest that millennials value startup businesses and entrepreneurships than generations past, with the majority of them stating they actually like the idea of being self-employed, with over 62% saying they'd actually consider starting their own business. Reporting for News 3, I am Bruceann Owen. Scooters have hit the streets and sidewalks of downtown Nashville. The two-wheeled toy turned vehicle has become an attraction of joyriding and transportation.
I was just kind of curious if I could even do it without falling off of it. So not really using it for transportation because we're literally going from here to here, but just to see what it's all about.
Companies like Bird and Lime are the two main scooter brands. But some think it's
a little strange that they're everywhere out of nowhere, but at the same time, you download the app and get across the city. It's pretty cool.
It's all done by the app, but many say the best part is it costs just $1 to unlock a scooter and charges only 15 cents per minute. But by nightfall, more and more scooters begin to appear. And while they are battery powered, some wonder who collects them by the end of a ride. Meet James Dempson, a lime juicer who collects 31 scooters a night and charges them at his own home. But because scooters can be parked anywhere, he's picked up scooters at some of the strangest places.
I've picked up scooters right next to the river where people throw them off the bridge. I've picked up scooters in little tiny alleyways behind businesses here just off of Broad. Where you wouldn't think they would be.
For now, scooters are here to stay. With News 3, I am Bruceann Owen. Comes as Facebook announced earlier this week that they will be notifying users about how to protect their data and let them know if they were affected by the data breach at all. Users will get a detailed message in their newsfeed if their data was shared with Cambridge Analytica. It's estimated that around 70 million in the United States were affected by the data breach. We'll keep an eye out on the hearing as it progresses and give you an update later in the newscast. Now back to the desk. That's right, guys. The Board of Trustees spent $11,000 deciding to give President Sidney McPhee an over $50,000 pay raise. President McPhee will now be making $400,000, placing him as the second highest paid public university president in the state. They ended up losing 17-5, and they needed 19 to push the motion. Now, the reason that this topic is very controversial is because Nathan Bedford was not only known as an incredible Army general, he was also known to being one of the leaders, earliest leaders of the Ku Klux Klan. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bruceann Owen. We start today's news with a question that's on the minds of a lot of students. How safe is our campus, especially at night? A lot of students just don't feel safe on campus when the sun goes down. That's according to a recent poll taken by the student government. Malik Lennon tells us those students think better lighting on campus will help a lot. We've all seen the public service announcement. Buzz driving is drunk driving. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is serious about taking drunk drivers off the roads. So they're going to have drunk driving checkpoints in Murfreesboro. They're announcing where that checkpoint will be. It'll be on Broad Street near Interstate 840.